the Japanese H3 rocket.
その一環で衛星データを利用し効率的に地図を更新するための技術開発を行っています。国土地理院が整備している電子国土基本図の更新に第一3号が撮影した画像データを使用する予定です。
What is H3? It's Japan's next generation rocket. It is the sequel to the very aptly named H2.
2021年9月に施行されたデジタル社会形成基本法において公的基礎情報データベースという正確性や最新性が確保された社会の基盤となるデータベースの一つに位置づけられています。大きく4つのステップがあります。ステップ1は測量用航空機による空中写真撮影。次のステップ2が図鑑、地図を描く工程です。ステップ3が現地調査。最後が編集で図化したデータに市町村名などの中期に関する情報を加えて作業が完成します。第一3号の解像度は初号機の 2.5 メートルから 0.8 メートルに向上しています。分解能が向上し、判読できる地物が増えることは地図の精度向上に直結します。今回第一3号のシミュレーション画像を25000レベルの電子国土基本図で利用可能か評価したところ、海、河川、湖の縁となる水害線や道路、鉄道、建物、植生、土地利用といった基本的な地物についておおむね問題なく判読可能であることを確認しており、ステップ1に加え電子国土基本図の図鑑にも利用できると期待を寄せています。また第一3号のデータから都市開発などで大きく変化している箇所を自動的に抽出し、電子国土基本図の更新すべきエリアを効率的に選定できるような技術開発にも着手したいと考えています。地図作成に携わる我々にとって待望の打ち上げです。第一3号から国土の様子を捉えた画像が届くのを楽しみにしています。
And many people will be utilizing data from the Daichi-3 or ALS-3. I'm very much looking forward to seeing for myself. Now, on this occasion, we invited messages in support of H3 launch vehicle and Daichi-3 LS3.
Oh, cool! Look at that.
These messages are posted onto SRB3, and they're actually attached to the side of the rocket. And so when you're inside the building, you can actually see these messages right in front of you. I saw it myself, but it's in a very visible location, these messages. You can actually read these messages.
Right.
And so, people are able to feel that, there is a strong interest and there is a strong support, and, they are able to feel a great motivation here. I actually sent in a message myself with my initials. And we have seen the involvement of many companies and organizations as supporters, and they're providing a lot of support through their web pages and through events. Thank you, everyone, for the wonderful support. And the message of support from everyone will also set off to the space with the launch vehicle.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
So next, we have a video that explains the state of preparation of TH3.
Whoa, look at that thing. Yeah, it fell off the truck. I don't know if you guys knew that. I'm serious, it fell off the truck. They didn't show it though. Dude, cool. Oh yeah, Silver, the first H3 booster fell off the truck, yeah. That Scania truck that it was driving around, oh yeah. It turned too quickly and fell off the side. I'm not kidding, you can go Google this. It looks like an upscaled Titan. Yeah, definitely has some Titan 2 vibes to it, but believe it or not, H3 is more Delta based. You notice how it kind of looks like Delta 4? It's more Delta 4 based than anything. Yeah. Mitsubishi collaborated with McDonnell Douglas and later Boeing, and he licensed some components from Delta to make their own rocket. back in, like, this was like the 90s, early 2000s. So if this thing kind of has some Uncanny Valley Delta 4 vibes, yeah, that's the reason. Pretty cool, right? The opposite. DCSS is derived from the H2 upper stage. Is it?
And
Dude, I couldn't.
a lot of tests have been conducted thus far.
Where did they get the Sophie from, Ian? That makes no sense.
Bring in the units here and
no, they borrowed technologies to make that.
H2A
And then maybe they developed Delta 4 based off of that.
But as I said at the outset, this is quite large. A3 is quite large, and so it was quite a significant amount of work. And towards the end of the BTR, you were able to see H3 being moved, and we were actually there. And we were actually walking right next to it, and I was in tears almost with in anticipation when the A3 was moved. No. Now, it's actually on top of the launch pad, and beneath the launch pad there is a lorry, a truck that actually will transfer the launch vehicle, and the speed is a little bit slower than people's walking pace, and it's only 400 or 500 meters of travel, so it only takes 30 or 40 minutes for the travel. But when you actually look at it from right next to it, it's quite a grand view. A3 launch vehicle is kind of embedded into the launch section. You may have realized this when you watch the video. And but at the start of the launch, the ignition may not look all that visible, but the launch vehicle is quite large, and the assembly building was we used the same as those for the H2B. And
something like that building.
There was an issue with the height, and so we had to actually embed the launch vehicle into the launch pad. Next, we would like to show you a video of the A3 launch vehicle flight sequence.
Sparrow, you guys got to see how these SRBs separate.
種子島宇宙センターから打ち上げられる H3 ロケット試験機1号機。ここからはそのフライトシーケンスを紹介します。およそ1分56秒後、SRB3 が分離します。
Backwards. Well, they must have used licensed technologies, Aqualex, because the spray-on foam insulation. Must have. So maybe it's not based off of Delta 4, but they definitely borrowed stuff to make H2.
そして5分17秒後に第2段エンジン燃焼を開始します。その後もロケットは飛行を続け、打ち上げからおよそ16分57秒後に A-LOS3 が分離される予定です。衛星分離後、第2弾はインド洋上へ制御落下を行います。
H3 is it's actually configurable. It can launch with So H3 can launch with 2 engines in the core stage or 3 engines in the core stage. They have a modular engine section, Bandit, so they could do 3 engines or 2, and it can do up to 4 SRBs if I'm remembering right. So yeah, entirely configurable. It can go heavier. So it has different configs like Atlas or Delta.
And each of the tracking station is remotely controlled from here, and they also monitor the state of the vehicle in flight, and in cooperation with LCC, all the command regarding the launch is executed from here. So we have LCC, the Launch Control Center, and the RCC, the Range Control Center. We have these two the control centers. They have different roles. In the case of a launch control room, they are responsible for preparation work towards the launch, and also countdown. They are also responsible for RCC, the Range Control Center. They are responsible for tracking the vehicle after launch.
Dude, that's cool.
And so
thanks for the raid.
There is the ground station, but the operating the ground station is also responsibility under Range Control Center. The launch is imminent, and so from here we're going to utilize the live image from the launch pad and live commentary.
Gee, who wrote the NSF article? Okay, we're inside of 10 minutes here. Tanegashima is a really, really pretty launch site.
最終作業を行っています。また警戒区域の安
Nobody
全は
edited,
確
but I
認さ
wonder
れ
who
ていま
edited
す。
it. Yeah, I wonder.
It's 8 minutes to launch. All systems are now in their final operation.
Hey,
The
telemetry.
restricted area has been vacated and cleared.
You guys might want to check your accelerometers there. You might want to check that. You might have some problems there. It's actually an inertial measuring unit. It's called an IMU. But who knows, man? The thing could be super sensitive. That could literally be picking up the rocket blowing in the wind.
Range safety system is go.
Range safety is go. Ad time. Yep. Okay. That's a good idea, Foz. Guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run an ad so nobody gets ads during a launch. I hate running ads, but... Oops. I also don't want someone to click on the stream and see a freaking ad right away during the rocket launch. Yeah, generic. It blows, dude. I don't blame people for hating that. I really don't.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Snowy's like, yeah, I'm gonna avoid that by subbing. Yeah, you can avoid that by hitting that Prime button. It is free. Just saying. What a pretty launch site. That is a little stubby fairing. Ian, how many fairings can this thing have? I think it has. I think it's at least 2. It's certainly the stubby one isn't the only one.
気温摂氏 15.5 度、西南西の風、毎秒
Blue Adder.
0.8 メートルです。
It's 6 minutes to launch. The current weather at the launch site is fine. Temperature is
5.4
15 degrees
Fahrenheit.
Celsius. Wind is 0.8 meters per second from the west-southwest. The weather is still a go, and currently there is no constraint for launch.
Nice, illness.
本日の打ち上げ予定時刻は日本時間の午前10
Glorious
時
Nihon.
37分55秒です。
Today's scheduled liftoff time is 10:37:55 seconds a.m. Japan Standard Time.
Could they be calibrating the IMU? I wouldn't calibrate the IMU this close to the launch, dad joke, but who knows? This is the perfect day for it. First clear day in weeks. Hi.
打ち上げ5分前です。
It's 5 minutes to launch.
衛星系準備完了。
Satellite system is go.
Hey, Stu. Thanks, buddy. 86, 87, 80. Yeah. It could be that their ground reference is below sea level. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Oh. There's just an exposure. How tall is this rocket? It's about as tall as Falcon 9, Ken, so about 220 feet tall. More or less.
A3 is now operated under the command of Takesaki Launch Control Center.
18、17、16、15。
Yeah, somewhere around there predominantly. It ain't much smaller than a Falcon 9. It's about the same height. This thing's actually a little bit wider than Falcon 9.
Pressurization process of second stage liquid hydrogen has been initiated.
Yeah, Lex, maybe. We'll see. We'll see when it takes off. See if it goes from like 98 down to 0 and then up again. Then we'll know.
88、87、87、
Yeah, Lewis. Japan's launch site is on an island called
こちら
Tanegashima.
で3分前です。
Tanega
3
Island.
minutes to launch.
That Shima is island. So yeah, Tanegashima is where they launch from. It's on the very, very southern
1
part
段
of
液体
Japan,
酸素液体水素地上油圧開始
Pressurization
south of
process of
Kyushu,
first
but
stage
not
liquid
Okinawa.
oxygen of
Okinawa
hydrogen
is the
have
only
been
thing that's more
initiated.
south than this.
機体の電源が外部から内部に切り替えられました
Let me fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir. Fast forwarding. Okay, we weren't that far. I wonder if it was calibrating since it stopped. Yeah, maybe. Did it stop when they gave an auto sequence command? It may have calibrated, yeah. I mean, somebody said it and I said no, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the system. But it definitely is not moving now. Yeah, H3 has a hydrolox center. Hydrolox core stage, hydrolox second stage, and then some little yeet sticks on the side there. 2 engines in the core stage here.
2段液体酸素地上油圧開始
Pressurization process of second stage liquid oxygen have been initiated.
This variant has 3? Wait, Ian, I thought they should. It has 2. This one has 2. Yeah. But it can have up to 3. It's cool. The H3 rocket has a configurable engine section, guys. It can launch with 2 engines or it can launch with 3 in like a tri-configuration. I wonder if Okinawa will be in Kerbal too. Why would it be?
1分前です
1 minute to launch.
This is the first launch of the H3 rocket, Bandit. Yep. First
フ
one.
レームデフレクター冷却開始
Flame deflector cooling is initiated.
I'm telling you, Mind Drive. Tanegashima is one of the prettiest launch sites, if not the. It doesn't get prettier than that. It's like built into the side of a cliff. It's really cool. You have to go see one of these? Tell me when you do. I'll go with you. We'll make it a road trip, Pranamit. How about that? Well, road trip plus ferry. 20 seconds. Okay? The firing igniters should initiate here inside of 10.
フライトモードオン
Flight mode on.
Okay.
加工品トーチ点火
Hydrogen purge igniter on.
Hydrogen purge igniters are on.
All kits necessary for launch.
Main engine start.
Main engine start.
SRB3 点火
And booster ignition. Up, hold. Is it gonna blow up? Please don't. The computers automatically aborted the rocket. I have no idea why. They are venting down the core stage. And there was a hydrogen purge out the flame trench. Oh. What was that noise? Your tea is ready. So, it looks like they had a good ignition there, but dude, that was about as far into a count as you could abort from as possible. They aborted in the last 6 seconds, which means that it was something with engine start. One of those engines down there, the computers saw something they didn't like, so it automatically shut it off. But dang, dude, that was about as close to ignition as you can get. They were like inside of a second to booster ignition. Oh my gosh, my heart skipped a beat there for a second, but the rocket seems to be in a stable
スタッフミッション
state.
より打ち上げ作業関係者に連絡します ただいまメインエンジンは着火しましたが SRB3 は着火しなかった模様です。現在状況を確認中です。
Rami, you hear that?
This is an announcement from the Takesaki Range Control Center to all launch operators and personnel. We have a report that the main engine was ignited, but the SRB3 were not. We are examining the situation.
繰り返します。ただいまメインエンジンは着火しましたが SRB3 は着火しなかった模様です。
Yeah.
現在
That's
状
what I thought I
況を
heard.
確認中です。
Repeat, this is an announcement from the Takesaki Range Control Center to all launch operators and personnel. We have a report that the main engine was ignited, but the solid boosters were not. We are now confirming the situation.
That's gotta
は
be.
い、打ち上がっているはずの時間になりま
That's
した
gotta be
が
translation.
So it should have been launched, but the H3 launch vehicle still remains in the launch pad, and there
I
was
agree,
a
Acolytes.
broadcast or announcement. Based on the announcement, the main engine was ignited, but SRB3 did not ignite. But we are still confirming facts, and so in regards to what had happened, we will provide you with an official report, but we are still trying to confirm the details, so please bear with us.
Send someone in to check, dude. I'm not getting near that thing. I'm not getting near that. He can send somebody else. Yeah, there's no way both didn't light. Yeah, Mutter, exactly. There's got to be some translation problems there. It looked like it was an abort sequence. They wouldn't... SRBs, they either ignite or they don't. You know, like... There's no like, oh, it failed to ignite. If the igniter goes, it's going to go. But... it is possible that... So, how an SRB this big ignites is literally something like this, believe it or not. Something like that. How an SRB ignites is that you basically have a small rocket engine, an igniter engine, fire into a bigger rocket engine, ignite that rocket engine, and then the bigger one will fire into the main combustion chamber of the SRBs. You literally have to, like a Matryoshka doll, like... That's how it works. You fire a small one into a bigger one, and that bigger igniter fires into the bigger SRB. There could have been an igniter failure, but most SRBs have double igniters. There's 2 of these in there, and then 2 of the bigger ones, just to make sure that this doesn't happen. It's very unlikely an SRB doesn't go off when you hit the sparker button. That is... Why do you have fireworks next to your computer? They're not fireworks, they're rocket engines. That's very, very unlikely. I'm like 90% sure that it's something with the translation and they didn't get a good stable ignition on one of the 2 engines in the core stage. I'm pretty dang sure. Yeah, it's unlikely that SRB ignition doesn't happen when triggered, but I'll tell you what, dude. Tan, if the igniters went off and the SRB didn't light, that is one hell of a failure mode. I would not want to get near that thing. I wouldn't want to get near that. That would be... No. What happens when you launch without one SRB? Owly, this thing wouldn't get very far. It would become an SSTO, actually, now that I'm really thinking about it. It would be a single stage to ocean. Yeah. I'm switching and listening to the Japanese one. Domo.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Flurry Andreas. 17-month resub. Yeah, Dradar, I'm, like I said, I've been to Japan once. No, I've listened to a lot of Japanese language spoke. There is a lot of weird translations.
SRB3 は着火しなかった模様です。
Translations that don't go together.
状況確認には時間を要する見込みです。分かり次第、打ち上げ関係者に別途連絡いたします。
Agreed,
こ
Rocket
れを
Guy.
もちまして、 本日の H3 ロケット試験機1号機の打ち上げ実況放送を終了します。
This is an announcement from the Takesaki Range Control Center to all launch operators and personnel. The main engine was ignited, but the side boosters were not. It is expected that it will take longer to examine the situation.
Yep.
The status of A3 launch vehicle test flight number 1 will be announced to all launch operators as soon as it will be confirmed. We are ending today's launch status report.
Yeah, they...
It is expected that it
ます先ほどメインエンジンは着火しましたが SRB3 は着火しなかった模様です。状況確認には時間を要する見込みです。分かり次第打ち上げ関係者に別途連絡いたします。これをもちまして本日の H3 ロケット試験機1号機の打ち上げ実況放送を終了します。
Repeat. The main engine was ignited, but the side boosters were not. It is expected that it will take longer to examine the situation. The status of A3 launch vehicle number 1 will be announced to all launch operators as soon as it will be confirmed. We are ending today's launch status report.
Yeah, the computer saw something with the engines it didn't like. That's pretty straightforward stuff. It's translation. It's not translation. It's just a weird way of saying it in English. But the SRBs did not ignite because it found an abort. It found an abort mode. Basically, what you do, most rockets that use a hydrolox center core with SRBs on the side or SRMs, it's SRB, SRM is kind of interchangeable. So H3 here has a hydrolox center core and they have 2 SRBs on either side. So in a design like this, there are rockets that are similar to this. So SLS is one of them. SLS is kind of similar to this. Ariane 5 is also kind of similar to this. And what both of those rockets do is 6 seconds before booster ignition, they fire the main engines. The reason why is because the boosters, the SRBs, like I said, they work or they don't. Like, it'll either blow up into a bajillion pieces right when you fire it, or it'll work and go, right? Like, it's basically on-off. It's like basically double fault redundant with the igniters. It's going to go off if you command it to go off, right? Think like a firework. A firework, you rarely get a dud with a firework. An explosion happens. That's what an SRB is. It's just a big bottle rocket, right? So what they do, and it doesn't matter if it's SLS, Ariane 5 from the Europeans, or H3 or H2 from the Japanese, they fire the main engines, the liquid fuel engines in the center, and run them for a second to make sure that it's good to go. To make sure that those engines are good to go, because those engines are more likely because there's a lot more moving parts in a liquid fuel engine. You're more likely to encounter a problem. So I am putting my money on that exactly being the problem here. There's 2 engines in the core stage here, and I'm guessing that one of them, even if the engines spool up, if that computer detects anything that even is remotely like a temperature getting just a couple of degrees too high, it'll be like, nah, frick this, because it's not worth it. You don't want to send it and have the vehicle not do something that it's designed to do. For instance, if the engine operating temperature is supposed to be like minus 100 C, and you go to fire that hydrogen engine and it's, it reads minus 95 C, don't freaking launch. Stop immediately. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know what the operating temperatures are for those engines. I have no freaking clue. And if minus 100 C sounds really freaking cold, well, yeah, that's because it is. It's using hydrogen and oxygen. You have the rocket turbine machinery, the moving parts need to be able to work at like sub-zero, like way sub-zero temperatures, because you're using extremely cold propellants. Like really cold propellants. Hydrogen and oxygen is really, really freaking cold. Hydrogen exists as a liquid at almost at absolute zero. Like we're talking like minus 400 Fahrenheit or something. It's something ridiculous. So if it saw like an off nominal temperature reading, or the engine decided to yeet too hard, like if the chamber pressure was too high, the computer will just be like, nope, not doing that. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But let's watch the replay. Did they announce what's in the payload? It's the Daichi-3 launch. It's a It's a satellite joust. I forget what it's for. Maybe Aqualux. Here, let's take a look.
可動品トーチ点火
Hydrogen purge igniter on.
So, hydrogen purge igniters. See that orange down there? What these purge igniters do is basically, well, engineers aren't really good at naming things like cool names. The hydrogen purge igniter is an igniter that's built into the ground service equipment, or GSE for short. That's basically anything that's not the rocket. The igniters are built into the GSE to basically purge out any hydrogen that gets caught down in the flame trench down there. Now, why is hydrogen getting stuck down there? And why is it a problem? Well, it's getting stuck down there because when you turn the rocket engines on, you got to prime the engine first. So you turn the fuel pumps on, and it takes the fuel pumps a second to spool. And in that couple of seconds before they ignite the engines, you do get a splash of hydrogen coming out the bottom. Now, that's why they need the igniter down there. The second part about that is that why is it important to purge the hydrogen? If you remember the Hindenburg, the dirigible that the Germans had, and they filled that with hydrogen gas, and hydrogen, if it finds a source of ignition that's not inside of the rocket engine, it has... It ceases to be. So they have hydrogen firing igniters to make sure that the hydrogen doesn't backblast the rocket, and yes, that absolutely can happen. Just a case example, when SpaceX a little while ago did a spin prime test with Booster 7, SpaceX was testing one of their big boosters like a couple of months ago. And they were just turning on the fuel pumps on the engine, so the engines just puked out a bunch of methane and oxygen, and it found a source of ignition, and it exploded. Yeah, it exploded. That's why you want purging systems. That's really, really important. Now, we should see when the purge system goes off, you should see a bunch of orange flames. That's what you should see. That thing flew above my city a few years before the war began. Oh, jeez. Your mic is hitting something. Sorry. So let's see what else we got. Here's the purge.
メインエンジンスタート
Main engine start.
SRB3 点火
Yep. That had nothing to do with the SRBs malfunctioning. That is the engine trying to spool up, trying to get to 100% of power, and the computer seeing something wrong. I don't even see two engine flames down there. I just see one. So there's the purge out right there. That's fine. Hang on, let me back it up. There's two engines down there, so we should, and I think the engines are this way. The two liquid fuel engines are this way, and the two SRBs are east-west, north-south on the liquid fuel. So we should see another flame kind of behind this one here. Let me take a look again.
Main engine start.
Yeah. That. So. Okay, right there. Yeah, they had trouble with the engine start. So the flames turned really, really orange. When the flames turn really orange, that means your that usually happens when you throttle down the rocket engine, meaning you're shutting it off. The reason why is excess hydrogen gets caught, and the purge igniters are lighting it on fire. When you shut the engine down, you'll see the orange glow here in a moment. Watch, right there. You see it? So what's going on there is as they shut the engine off, they turn the thing off, and similar to like if you have a sprinkler, right? If you have a sprinkler system, like you have a garden hose to a sprinkler, and you shut it off, it takes a second for the water pressure to go away. Same idea. I mean, rocket engines are basically a fire hose, like, except you light the thing on fire at the end. So there was some excess hydrogen from the engine shutting off. That's normal. And then what they do is after the engine shuts off, they shoot inert gas into the motor, probably helium if I had to guess, and you can see it right at the end. It burps up an extra bit of hydrogen. Yeah, that's an engine abort, dude, guys. This has nothing to do with the SRBs. I've elevated my level of certainty from 90 to about 95%.
全システム準備完了。メインエンジンスタート。
See right there. They already shut it down. Yeah, see that extra little bit of orange puff out there? That's them purging out the engines. The computer already aborted. It looked like it entered into an abort sequence with about 2 seconds to spare, but that's why they start these engines first. Because think about it. If the engine entered into a failure mode, right, and they went to fire it and it blows up and your SRBs ignite, you're going to try to get to space with 3 engines. And the thing's designed to get to space with 4. That's catastrophically bad. This is the precise reason why they fire the engines about 6 seconds before booster ignition. So you can catch a failure in the motor or anything else before the SRBs ignite. Because once the SRBs ignite, there's no way to shut those off. Yeah, once the SRBs go, you're going or you're not. You know what I mean? See last. Yeah, translation Aqualex. Yeah, that's nothing we didn't know, right? Mm-hmm. Night, Whitney. I'll see you later. Pretty launch pad, though. Here, I'm gonna go over here. Beautiful launch site. It's worth the price of admission for the view. Look at that. Yeah, VB. Dude, anytime you're trying a new rocket, anytime you fly a new rocket like this, don't be surprised. Heck, the space shuttle scrubbed like 4 or 5 times. No, it wasn't 4 or 5 times for STS-1. On the inaugural flight of the shuttle, I think it scrubbed twice, if I remember. Okie gifted a sub to Donald. Cream Savor, EJ lives in Okinawa? I don't live in Okinawa, no. Nanda kore? Nani? What was the wee after abort, though? Probably a purging system, Salyut, if I had to guess. That was probably some type of pneumatic purge. That's a guess. That's a guess. I don't know. It was a guess, but it seemed logical. How did you know our reactor leak was false? Yeah, I think it was twice. This does happen. Anytime you're going to put a new flight configuration out here, meaning new flight configuration means new rocket in rocket speak. Anytime you're going to put a new config out here, you always expect something to go wrong. But hopefully you have the right systems on board to make sure that your rocket doesn't end up an SSTO, for instance. No, not single stage to orbit, single stage to ocean. I'm pretty sure Mitsubishi and JAXA are trying to avoid that. You don't want to put the rocket into what's called a failure mode. If you put it into a failure mode, that config is unlikely to make it into space. Yeah, Ursi, Hoki's good to me. Yeah, but now the rocket is, the rocket's okay. So now what the engineers have to do, is basically go through and comb through the data. So when the rocket is firing, like when the mission goes, there are like basically the equivalent of a rocket black box on board. But obviously you're not going to get the rocket back. It's expendable, right? So what a rocket has to do is not only there are rockets that can record the telemetry locally, like Falcon 9, a reusable rocket would do that. The shuttle had a black box too. Fun story. It wasn't black. It's painted orange. But I digress. Orange is easier to find if something goes wrong. Screwed up, I know. So if you have an expendable rocket, you're not getting your recorder back. So what the rocket needs to do is basically download all of the data streams in real time And that usually is what shows up on the mission control screens. And not only does it have to download and display them in real time, but it has to record it as well. So I'm sure this produced a ton of data, and now what the engineers have to do is they have to go look and see why the thing aborted. What was it telling you? Why did it not fly? So say, for instance, if like a temperature was wrong. Like, say it took a bad temperature reading from one of the engines, and that's why it shut it off. Why did it take a bad temperature reading? Did it take a bad temperature reading because you didn't get the engine to the right operating temperature? Did it take a...
Go at throttle up.
Malachi, 5-month resub. Did it take a bad reading because, I don't know, the hydrogen was too warm? Too warm. That's not a thing. Is the sensor bad? Is it a DFI sensor? Is it an OFI sensor? Developmental sensor or an operational sensor? Is it there because this is the first flight and you want extra data? Or is it your operational sensor? Is it the actual sensor that you'd use on future launches? Most first launches of rockets carry way more sensors on them. They have so much extra instrumentation on them for good reason. Fault detection is completely different from fault isolation. Yeah, sure. That's my whole dissertation. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, detecting a fault, like, so the rocket, I mean, yeah, rocket guy, the rocket's going to tell you why it aborted, right? But telling you why it aborted dude, it's like anybody that works in IT, you know that most of the time the error that the person having is not because of whatever it seems, right? Like, if you have a problem with the software, they probably put the software into a configuration that doesn't work. Like, it'll tell you why it crashed, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that particular component that crashed is what went wrong. It could be something way further up the tree. Yep. Hokey, what's your question? Can a turbopump damage itself if it's spinning without a fluid to pump? I would presume so, considering the bearings sometimes have the fluid in the fluid. It depends on the design, Hokey, but if you're using propellant as your lubricant for the bearings, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. You could spin a bearing in your turbopump that spins at like 20,000 RPM. Now, spinning a bearing in a car engine that spins at like 5,000 RPM that can remodel your engine block for you. You can have some windows in your engine if you spin a bearing like that. Yeah, you give yourself some free engine remodeling. Some nice windows into the crankcase. It depends on the motor, chillin', right? But yeah, so if you spin a bearing in the turbo pump, you got a big problem. Looked into the shuttle Black Box and found out after Columbia they changed it into a re-entry capsule shape. Yep. Anyone who's played heavily modded games knows the pain of fault isolation. Yep. I'm actually pretty damn good at that, you know? And I'm pretty damn good at that because I fail constantly in KSP. I'll tell you, hey, it's a good teacher. It can happen on vehicles too. For example, a faulty headlight can cause your instrument cluster to not work. Bruh. Yeah, guys, I'd be willing to say that they are not going to try this again. It's probably, at the very least, a 24-hour scrub. At the very least. Yeah. Spin back to that noise. Can you hear it again? Oh, the T being done? Yeah, sure.
ウォーターカーテン作動、無炭水開始。フライトモードオン。
Flight mode on.
加工品統治点火
Hydrogen purge igniter on.
全システム準備完
All
了
system available for
メイン
launch.
エンジンスタート
Main engine start.
SRB3 点火
That thing never even got up to. It never even got up to full throttle. Not even close. Yeah, rocket. I don't know what that noise is, man, but that made my heart skip a beat. I'm like, is it about to blow up? Dude, it scared the piss out of me.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Is that 100 freaking... What the hell, dude? Are you kidding me? You can't just come in here and drop 100 anonymous subs. I demand to know who that was. Oh my goodness. What do we do? What if I don't know. I don't know what to do with my hands, chat. I don't know what to do with my hands. I felt like I was on a spaceship. Nah, dude, I already stopped that trend. Car felt real good. I'm not on fire? Thanks, Kenwa. Is that the sound of a turbine overspeeding? No, it spooled up clearly after the rocket shut down, Zeppelin. My guess is that it's some kind of HVAC or a purging system. It was Joe. Ah, yes, Joe Ligma. Yes. I'm not on fire. Not on fire. Hydrogen purge. Not on fire. Anyway, thanks for the subs, kind stranger. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I hope someone learned something from this. Rockets are complicated. Long story short, there's a lot of parts and a lot of things have to go right. But only one thing can go wrong. And if one thing goes wrong, that usually means you lose. It's like playing Tetris, man. And you have like the 4x1 piece and you have it perfectly set up and you zap it down and you miss and you're just like, oh, come on. Yeah. Oh, one little thing, just bye-bye. Your whole game's ruined. So, yay, at least the launch pad. At least we got a great view. The launch site is beautiful. Launch site is beautiful. It is beautiful. You wish you launched from here.
To make you wait, we have no updated information. And if I repeat, the main engine did ignite, but SRB3 did not ignite. We are still trying to confirm the situation. I repeat, the main engine successfully ignited, but SRB3 did not ignite. And we are still trying to identify the cause. And it would have been nice if we were able to explain what had happened, but it is taking time to identify the true cause, and so it seems that we will not be able to tell you the exact cause. But the main engine did actually ignite 6 seconds before the count was 0. I think you may have been able to see it. At the count of 0, SRB3 should have ignited, but unfortunately that did not happen. And additional information is not expected to be made available within the next few minutes, and so we'd like to conclude the live streaming of the JAXA-3 launch vehicle test flight number 1. More detailed information will be made available on JAXA's website, so please refer to the website. And I truly apologize for those people who were very much looking forward to the launch. But hopefully we'll be able to, regroup and go to the launch again. But the detailed information will be made available on the JAXA's the website. Thank you very much for joining us for the live streaming today.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna take a second to figure out that fault tree. They ain't gonna get that figured out in an hour. No way. That's gonna take some time. Hey, the rocket's still in one piece, guys. It's just not in space. That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I'd rather it be in one piece on the pad with us trying to review the data than it being at the bottom of the ocean or a crater where the pad used to be. So, hey, no shame in scrubbing. See last if you could. I knew I've heard that sound before. I've always thought it came from the rocket.
1 minute 54 seconds of the launch.
So that was the HTV-8 launch. Yeah, it's some GSE motorkit. It's some GSE on their pad. I love how they apologize for something outside of their control. Anyone else would go, well, it went wrong. We'll try again tomorrow. Hey, that's Japan, man. They said they were going to launch. And when you don't deliver on what you say, that's a big deal. Don't do that. Yeah, see? That one was on this pad, I believe. They have a twin pad complex out there. It's a clean pad design, so they can just flip the mobile launcher between H2 and H3. At least it's in one spot and not thousands. Yep. Yeah, don't go back on your word in that country. That's a huge thing over there. Respect and honor is a very big thing in Japanese culture. You shouldn't do that. Exactly. Yeah, get it right or apologize for wasting people's time. Bingo. That's it, dudes. That's how they roll. You know what? That's very admirable. Like I said, I've only been there for a week, but I've been over there. You see it firsthand. It's really cool. Really cool. And remember, respect is everything. They use a Goliath to purge the hydrogen out of the flame trench. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of pressure to perform in that country. That's how they roll. But yeah, that's the complex right there. It's right on this peninsula. It's beautiful. Wonder when you're going to Japan next. I don't know, man. Yeah, the test stand is right there. See it? And then they have a couple of older pads from H1 rockets and other things out here. You see there's an old launch pad here. And then there's another one over here. That one's that's track. That's a tracking station. There's a test stand. I think that's the SRB test stand. But I'm not sure. And then some of the first pads that they had that JAXA had was down here. How is Japan? How is Japan? I don't know. Good? Is there an airport on Tanegashima? Yeah, there should be. I think it's up here somewhere. Yeah, see? There it is. I'm not sure how much use it gets, but That looks like it's abandoned. You enjoyed your time in Japan? Japan's beautiful. It's a great country, full of great people. Seriously. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, see, that's the runway that they use right there. When is Japan? Height. Man, Tanegashima is kind of big, huh? It's a pretty big island. Wait, what's that? Oh. On Magashima, there was an airfield out here. I'll bet you that's XIJN or IJA. That's a military airfield. Yeah, no doubt. Probably left over from World War II. There's stuff like that all over the place, dudes. Like if we go down a little ways and look at Okinawa, Aishima is over here. See all those runways? Yeah, bomber runways. Haven't been used in a little while. Hey, G-Core, what's going on? Yeah, there's stuff like that all over the place. Yeah, once again, H3 went to go, and yeah, they encountered some type of failure mode during engine ignition, and basically shut the rocket off. They didn't. It's still sitting on the pad. Vehicle's in a stable config, so it should be okay. Yeah, something like that, Aqualex. The Mickey D's that I had over there tasted a lot like the Mickey D's from here. But yeah, Japan is it's a very respectful place. Like, that's the best way to describe it. I don't want to sound like a stereotype and be like, oh, you know, it's very respectful and very honorable. But yeah, that's pretty much how it rolls, dude. Like, I don't really have a better way to say it. Like, you go over there, dude. I'm pretty good at reading, like, situations. Pretty good. Sometimes I mess up. Like, I can most of the time tell inflection from text with you guys. Dude, the vibe that I got over there, like, you know, when you're here, like, if you're rolling around New York and you gotta spit, you just, whatever. No one cares. Like, don't spit in the streets. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, and you see it, too. Like, everything over there is super freaking clean. Now, don't get me wrong, there's dirty parts of the city, but like, you could go any particular, like, I could go anywhere on Google Earth in this, right? Just pick one, like Suganame, yeah, right? We could go there, or just anywhere, and it'll be clean. Everything is clean. There's no graffiti. Like, it's a very respectful culture, dude. Setagaya. Don't use your phone on public transit. Oh, dude, yeah. It's just a vibe. Like, you can... Yeah. It's nuts, dude. NAS at Sugi. Here, let's go to Shinjuku, right? I mean, Shinjuku is kind of the heart of the city. There's the temple. That's the Imperial Palace right there with the moat around it. That's Tokyo Station. Yeah, people do that all the time, sell you. You can go to American City. Heck, I even saw it in Amsterdam. There's trash everywhere. There's no trash in Japan. I'm serious. Like, I walked all around the city. I didn't see one bit of trash on the street. Just pick one. Let's just go. Jesus. Okay. Let's go right here. Shinjuku. Right? This is a very, very busy area right here. Everything is super clean. Like, look. I mean, don't get me wrong, I picked one of the busiest spots, dude, but look, you see any leaves or anything on the ground? Nothing. Everything is clean. Yeah, the weird part is trash cans are almost non-existent. Exactly, dude. I mean, hey, what's that? Dude, a Hemikuta! Yo! Word? That's sick! Yeah! Freaking 72 Hemikuta! What's that doing there? Haha! That's awesome! But, dude, yeah, this is, I guarantee you, anywhere. You can go anywhere, you won't see trash. It's not just in the city. Freaking Hemikuta, dude. Can you believe that? It's a freaking Hemikuta. It's a Yakuza car? I don't know what you're talking about. Respectful people in a congested area for an extended period of time is unheard of. Yeah, Malachi, there's a reason why a lot of people like Japan. Japan's really... yeah, just... What the hell? McLaren? I mean, we are in Shinjuku. That's... yeah. Yeah, here... yeah, this is one of the busiest train stations on the planet. That one that's right up there. One of the busiest train stations, like, on the planet. Shinjuku Station is absurd. I've seen it. And once again, dude, I'm telling you, we could go through these streets for hours. You'd never see a piece of trash. Ever. There's no overgrown... there's, okay, there's partly overgrown plants, but look at how clean it is. There's nothing. There's not even... there's like 1 or 2 leaves on the ground. It's like that everywhere, dude. Yeah, it's like Disneyland clean. It's like that. The whole freaking country is like that. I'm telling you. Here, let's get out of Shinjuku. We'll go somewhere else. How about we go to Akihabara? It's just north. Well, I say just northeast. It's on the other side of the city. Hang on. Yeah, Taito. Here we go. Akihabara is basically if the internet existed as a physical place. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Been to Hakone? No. See? Oh, yeah, of course. I picked the one place where there's trash. But look, it's all bagged. It's nice and neat. It probably was trash day, to be honest with you. But look, dude, look it. It's super freaking clean. That's Japan, man. Like, you go over there, you pick up after yourself. Like, you could feel the judgment. It's ridiculous. You mean people just run up to you and yell profanities because of your Call of Duty skills? Yeah, something like that. See? Look. Clean. Clean. All of it. It's all clean. Everywhere I went, dude. It's a freaking beautiful country. It must be preserved at all cost. Yeah, Brown, I'm with you. I'm with you. We're weaving out over here, aren't we? Just a little bit. I'm trying to find all the cool stuff. So Akihabara is like, it's like, it's a part of Taito City, and Taito City is like, it's all games, dude. Every store is games. It's just games, video games, board games, toy stores, hobby stores. It is, like I said, it's like if the internet was a real place. Unbelievable. Makes me happy that they keep it so clean. Yeah, Urzi, yeah. It's, dude. Yeah. And if you go over there and you start noticing it, you're like, oh. Yeah, Pachinko. Akihabara is insane. It's so freaking cool. I only got to go there for a day, which kind of blows, but here, let's see. Let's pick another street. See? Clean. See what look. See what I'm talking about? Yeah, we're definitely in Akihabara. Look at that. That's a parking garage, by the way. Yeah, it's a parking garage. Harajuku, I've been there too. Yeah, Harajuku's pretty cool. The shops are pretty neat. Yeah, that's a parking garage. It has a turntable on it. You park your car, and it's an elevator. It either goes up or down, either one. And so, like, basically, you drive in, right, and then you back your car out, and instead of trying to back out into the street and do a 3-point turn, you just back onto the turntable, it spins you around, and then you can drive out and be on your way. The rotating parking garage like in Tokyo Drift. Yeah, yeah. Why can you go in this store, dude? See? Yeah, no, we're in Akihabara, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, look at the store. Only in Japan, man. Only in Japan, dude. See what I mean? This place is ridiculous. What a great country. I love that place, man. I want to go back. And I'm not even that big into Japan. That place is just that freaking cool. And that's just one shop, dude. It's like an entire city full of them. It's like Akihabara has all of this. See all that? Dude, that's all of it. It's so goddamn good, man. It's so funny. Oh, I love it. Even the industrial stuff is clean. All right, let's see what you got. What happened with H3? T-3, they had the engines aborted. Oh, what are we doing here? Yeah, I know this. This is the, yeah, Tatakawa. Mm-hmm. It's a JSDF base, isn't it? Yep, definitely a JSDF base. Anything cool? There's nothing cool out on the ramps, damn it. Yep. Where are we, Aqualex? Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's where that's a naval air station. Right? That's NAS. Let you get closer in the web version. Yeah, this is a U.S. Naval Air Station. It's not JSDF, if I'm remembering right. I don't know. I didn't even go near this. I know that the Navy base is down here, Yokosuka. Itsugi, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. See, that thing hangs around in Japan all the time. It's the flagship of the 7th Fleet, U.S. 7th Fleet. That's where I was stationed. Atsugi. Cool. It's a joint base, JSDF hosting USN. Cool. Cool, cool. Very neat. Even the runway and the path are empty. They probably put the planes in the hangar so people don't peep on them, Sorrow. Yep. There's Japan's self-defense helicopter carrier. Yep, dude. And I'm telling you, here, we can go anywhere. Check this out. We'll go anywhere. This is like miles away from where we were just a second ago. The holes sit clean. Yeah, that has a little bit of an overgrown plant. Just a tiny, teeny, weeny little bit. But, yeah, see? That's what blew my mind, dude, when I was there. Look at how clean everything is. Everything is swept. All the roads are kept perfect. I mean, don't get me wrong. Japan has bad roads. They are there. But look. Dude, look at how pristine everything is. It's unbelievable. I can't believe so many people actually give a frick. Like, that's what blew my mind. That was something I didn't expect when I went to, like when I went there. I'm like, Tokyo it's a big city. It's going to be like every other city. We're just going to, nope. Only pristine until Godzilla shows up. Godzilla. Zilla. Yeah, Takaninja, that's right. Yeah, they don't... When the aircraft carrier goes to port, they don't take the planes with them. Picks up a bus and he throws it back down as he wades through the buildings toward the center of town. Cool. Hey, what's that? Car testing facility, huh? They fly back to NAS Atsugi. Yeah, little test track. I wonder whose it is. It's probably I don't know. Well, it's got to be Honda or Toyota or something. Did you make any progress on the mothership today? I accelerated it to 77 kilometers a second, Chaos. Is that good enough progress? Yeah, basically, yes. I got it to work. Mazda? Yeah, maybe. There's a Haneda, right? That's a big airport, man. Look at. We need another runway over here. All right. How you gonna do that? Just dump some dirt in the water. It'll be fine. Narrator. It was fine. Oh wait, no, it's sinking over here. Just make the runway a bridge. That's fine. It'll be fine. You guys notice that half of that runway is literally a causeway, right? Let's see, anything cool over here? Oh, yes, very nice. Very, very nice. Where's the big boys? Where's the big boy planes? I mean, those were pretty big boy planes, but where are the other big boy planes? I think I found them. That's a lot of 787s. This has got to be an ANA hub. Wings Wednesday when? Yeah, right. In Kerbal too. Hey. Neat. A lot of good stuff. Yeah, see all these islands? Just like the Netherlands, they just like, yeah, we need more space. just go dredge Tokyo Bay out. It needs to be deeper anyway. Bro, look at that freaking train yard. Wow. It looks like it's a station hub, an intermodal train terminal, and Shinkansen. Shinkansen. Very nice. Yeah, everything is pristine, dude. That's car export all day. Fly over it in Flight Sim. I'd have to reinstall it, dude, but yeah. Dude, I could sit here and look at this place all day. It looks like a city from City Skylines, man. Skitty Skylines. That's literally what I just said. All right, cool. Now that I'm mispronouncing things, maybe we should go back to playing Kerbal. Most Americans like Japan for the anime. EJ likes it for the infrastructure. I like Japan for the infrastructure, and the culture is very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I ain't any weeb, you know what I mean? Like, I respect the hell out of that place. Like, that's the best way to say it. Like, I just respect the hell out of that place. It's so cool. Phenomenon, what's that? If you want a casual A380 photobomb, your old place, let me see. Are you sure you want to show that? I suppose it doesn't matter. But yeah. I'm not really that much of a Japanophile, though, either. Like, you know, it's not any more than the next guy, but it's just such a nice place, dude. Like, I'm telling you, you'll go there and you'll be like, what the frick? And also the infrastructure is dope. The infrastructure is freaking sweet, dude. I could look at this all day. Oh my goodness! Look at all the elevated roads. Look at all this spaghetti. Yeah, Ferdinand, I remember you told me this. Yeah, dude, it doesn't end. I love it. The city just goes on forever. It's so good, man. And stumbled on the Mitsuoka auto brand. Check out Mitsuoka, buddy, when you get a chance. Hey, did they launch? Nah, Joe, they didn't do it. Yeah, it's all earthquake proof too. That's what's bananas, man. I mean, look at it, dude. Monorail. Just because, dude. Just because. We have monorails next to regular rails, next to elevated road, next to regular roads, next to a canal. It's Japan, baby. This is crazy. I love it. I love this place. This place must be protected at all costs. Freaking look, dude, look. Like, just we're in some random spot in Shinagawa, and you have quad train tracks going over a 6-lane highway with a monorail track going under it. And then there's another road under that. This place is dope. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. I love it so much. I'm sorry. It's true. It's so freaking cool. I concur. Look up the Mitsuoka buddy. All right. What the frick is that? What is that? Mitsuoka buddy. Definitely from automation. Dude. I don't hate it. But it's a RAV4 from what I can tell. What is this? Where did this car come from? It looks like an old K5 Chevy. Yeah. How is Chevy not like, excuse me? Japan can make trucks when they feel like it, Tessa. Look at the FJ Cruiser. That's a pretty good example. Oh, okay. What time is it? Almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's definitely a square body Chevy grill right there. Dude, I could sit here and look at Japan infrastructure all day. Yeah, Predominant, you said something about a corkscrew interchange. I don't hate that, but dude, look. Look at this. Look. You have another monorail, a different type of monorail, with an elevated road, and it's a helical elevated road, so it levels off because the monorail and the cars can work at different grades, right? And then it connects in on top of another freaking road. Actually, that looks like a bike lane or something. No, it's not a bike lane. That's a highway. Dude, what? What the balls, man? It's so cool. Ohashi Junction. It's so freaking sick, dude. And the whole city is like this. It's so good. Look, it just doesn't stop. I love it. I love it so much. This place is the best. Predominant. We should go back. We should go back. That place is dope. It's so cool. Everybody, Japan is as cool as you think it is. Yeah. Any of those crazy stories that you hear, yeah, it is like that. It's pretty damn good. Yeah, there's not enough room to put a bridge ramp in. Yeah, put it over water. It's fine. Yeah. Tokyo has the best public transport by a long shot. By a long shot. Tokyo is the best. The best city that I've seen. The Netherlands was good. Amsterdam was pretty good. But Tokyo's is unbelievable. It's on another level. I mean, look at how big this damn place is. Look at it. It's like 100 miles wide. That's a city that's 100 freaking miles wide. That is insane. Let's go from here to there. Like, what's the greater Tokyo area? Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. That link shows the junction. All right. Dude, there's subways upon train tracks with streets on top of it. Unfreaking believable, dude. And that's just one. There's like thousands of those, right? Like, it's unreal, man. So freaking cool. Alright, guys. We've been going for 9.5 hours. We got that propulsion figured out, but we need to figure out how to ramp that drive. And we can do that tomorrow. I'm still trying to reset my sleep schedule. So, yeah, I'm all screwed up. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. Can this be done in cities? Yeah, I can make stuff like that in cities. Sure, no problem. Yeah, all of Japan, to be honest, you could just get just about anywhere on public transit in a reasonable time. Yeah. I mean, if you take the Shinkansen, if you take the bullet train, yeah, it's going to take a couple of days, but you can pretty much traverse the entirety of Japan. You can go from Kyoto to what's the big city in Hokkaido? Why am I blanking on the name? Basically from almost the southern. I mean, Kyoto is not the southern island, but Sapporo, that's it. Yeah, you can go from Kyushu. Not Kyushu. Kyoto to Sapporo. You'd have to switch trains, I think, 2 times. Actually, well, 3. You'd have to go on the Kyoto, Tokyo, and then you'd have to switch in Tokyo, and then the Tokyo train that goes north goes up to basically, like right before you get onto Hokkaido, and then there's a Hokkaido high-speed rail as well. It's unbelievable. The infrastructure is insane. Also, nice shirt. Thank you. What the hell? Is that a... Okay, that's a little strange. Yeah, 2 days. That's a long way for 2 days. That's like... Okay, so what would Kyoto to Sapporo be? If we were going to, like, attribute that to other distances, like, how far are they apart from each other? That would be like going from Columbus, South Carolina to, like, Boston. Yeah, you could do that in 2 days via train, which is pretty absurd. That's pretty damn good. It's not as fast as a car, but the train's a lot easier than the damn car. Consider you could just sit there. And you're going, like, 200 miles an hour the whole time? That doesn't suck. That trip is about 13 hours. Okay, so... Yeah, that's... Dude, yeah. South Carolina to Massachusetts, that's close. That's close. That's, I think that's like a 14, 15-hour drive. It's not bad. I mean, considering that, you know, if you're going on a road trip, yeah, that wouldn't take very long. It's pretty cool. That's absurd. Look at this. See, that's nuts. That's insane. You can go from Kagoshima to Fukuoka to Hiroshima to Osaka, Nagoya, Yokohama, Tokyo. So 20 hours. Dude, that's ridiculous, man. Oh, that's so cool. But see, you see what you guys know what I always say about trains, right? The trains are only good for medium distances. And the Japanese really understand that. That's why you see there's two different trains. Like I said, if you're going to go from like Osaka to Hokkaido, you'd have to switch trains a couple of times. But see how the lines are only over medium distances? That's where I learned that from. Lines are only over medium distances. That's what makes the most sense. It's so freaking smart, dude. Ugh. So smart. Yeah, nice, Tessa. That's so smart. Like I said, you know, we should do stuff like that. It'd be a good idea. Could learn a thing or two. Yeah, Brightline, Potzer. See? Medium distance. Orlando to Miami. Medium distances. That doesn't make sense trying to fly from like MCO to like Miami. That makes no sense. It's like a 30-minute plane flight. The train is what makes sense. $25 hours by car. Yeah, the train's a little bit longer. Interesting. All right, guys. So you know what? We'll continue testing with endurance tomorrow. We'll finish it up. We'll finish it up tomorrow, and yeah, we'll go from there. So once again, guys, check this out. No, shorter. I thought you said it was 20 hours and 17 hours. 20 hours on one line, 17 on the other. Planes are optimal for long distance, Squish, if you have to get there quickly. Yeah. Longer the distance with the plane, the better. The more efficient it is. So like transatlantic flights. That's very highly preferable comparatively to like a ship, right? That's where that makes sense. But if time is no obstacle and you build up a supply chain, then container ships are fine. Hey, Curly Fries. 25 hours by car, no traffic with tolls. Link for that timeline, please. Yes. There you go. We have the release schedule for Kerbal on the 24th. That is 8 days out. So, Squish. So planes are optimal for long distance. Trains are good for medium distances. Yeah, so like high-speed rail is good for medium distances. So we're talking 400 miles, 500 miles, like pushing it. Anything but beyond that, planes make the most sense. That's the nicest way. Now, planes aren't the most efficient. Trains are the most efficient by far, but time becomes a variable when you're traveling for that long, right? Will you be getting an early copy? If they want to give one to me, Tricky, I'll take it. And then light rail is great for short distances. Walking is obviously the shortest, quickest way of doing things if you're going over a really short distance. A bike would be a variable between walking and a car. So it's like walking, bike or motorcycle, car, light rail. Actually, light rail is probably before car. But Squish, and then, you know, the train and then the plane and everything. Squish, the thing is, dude, is that I've always said, use every system to your best advantage. Use the car where it makes the most sense. Because if you're using it where it makes the most sense, it's probably the most efficient. Overall, I think you could we could lower carbon footprints if we choose to use cars where it makes the most sense instead of trying to shoehorn another solution in there that's at odds with physics. Just saying. Along the U.S. coasts. Yeah, Aqualex, I agree. even a train from like New York to Chicago, that would work. That would work. But if you look at where high-speed rail or high-speed for the time rail was in the U.S. in the past, it's all on the coasts. Did you have a chance to play KSP2 when you were in the Netherlands? I have played it, Salyut. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's like a transportation continuum with all these different modes. Well, there are times where certain systems make the most sense. Like, would a subway make sense in Oklahoma? No. Why would you do that? Maybe in Tulsa, right? Maybe in the city or Oklahoma City, like, maybe? But probably not. You should contact the devs, EJ. You deserve it with the amount of time you've played. Well, Tricky, I've played KSP2, dude. I agree with what you're saying. I've played the game, dude. I've already played it. Haven't played it on stream, though, and I can't really talk about what I did when I played the game, nor can I talk about my impression of the game. Because the flip side of that is that you have to sign a disclosure agreement. So, I've played Kerbal 2. That's about all I can say. I mean, I was talking with the devs yesterday. So yeah, I mean, I got an open line with them. They're good people, guys. I will say this: I can't talk about my impressions from the game, but I can talk about on the Amsterdam trip my impressions of the vibe that I got from the people that work on Kerbal. And I will tell you this. The vibe that I got from those talented folks that work at Intercept is the exact same vibe that you get from them in the trailers. Like, you know, the docuseries that they're doing about Kerbal 2 development? It is the same exact vibe. They absolutely 130% they care. They really care about this game. They know a lot. They know a lot is riding on it. And no, this isn't just it's crunch time video game bullcrap cycle. I mean, heck, Nir Taya is on the freaking development team. He was a modder for KSP. He absolutely gives a crap. Like, probably more than most developers would on any game. Because Kerbal's special. They know that. That is like, dude, I don't even need to tell you my impressions for KSP2. Even if I could, I wouldn't. But, like, that is what makes me so happy. They care. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they really, really care. Like, it's very clear that, like, the people that are working on this game have put their heart and soul into it. Like, and you know what? I couldn't ask for more. And not only that, they have open dialogues with us. Like, you know, they like look at what you can do on the Intercept Games Discord, right? Like, you can go and you can ping the freaking like people at Private Division and Intercept like right off the bat, dude. You can just ping them and they'll be like, "Hey, what up?" You know? So, yeah, take that for what it's worth, guys. I've played KSP2, but I can't really tell you, you know, my impressions, but I can tell you my impressions of the developers, and they absolutely care. From anyone from like the guy controlling the Twitter account or the group of people controlling the Twitter account to the creative director to senior artists, they all are like, we know what's riding with KSP. They know what's riding on it, and that is a load off. It's a weight off my damn shoulders, man. So yeah, trust me. These guys absolutely give a frick, and that's all I care. That's all I care about, man. That's all I care about. Did you play DDR? No, but I schooled everybody in air hockey. I schooled everyone in air hockey. Didn't lose a match. I schooled everybody. I'm the air hockey king, son. I'm the air hockey king. I'm the ramen king. Why do you think I like Japan so much, Think? Anyway, fellas, I'm going to pack it in. I hope you guys enjoyed today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. How many bloody knuckles in air hockey? I don't get bloody knuckles in air hockey. I don't do that. I don't do that. Anyway, let's see who we can raid, dudes. My buddy Haas is playing RDR. RDR RP. Let's go, dude. Let's go watch him. That's going to be funny. Go see what Haas is up to. You want me to raid my mom, Ark. Okay. Did Flo tell you to say that? We're raiding Haas. Okay. Have a good night, guys. Let's pop through and go watch Haas. He's doing some RDR RP. Sorry. It's all good, man. All good. Haas is your mom? Yeah. No? Maybe? No. I don't think so. Probably not. Go see what Haas is up to. I'm going to wind it down over there. And I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon. Yeah, noontime. Should be good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.